Hello and welcome, fellow Marvel fans, to the Snark Industries podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Remy.
And we invite you to join us as we work our way through every Marvel TV show, movie, and crossover, meaning if there's a Marvel character on screen, it's fair game. All categorized in the temporal order of their setting. By the time we're done, we'll have built a complete start-to-finish timeline of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. To accomplish this goal and to have a bit of fun along the way, each episode will be split into two parts, the Watch Party and the Deep Dive. If you're hearing this, you found one of our deep dives. This is where we slow things down and take a more pragmatic, in-depth look at a piece of Marvel media. We'll walk through the full plot, explore connections to the wider MCU and Marvel Comics, highlight Easter eggs, unpack lore, and of course, give you our own personal thoughts and feelings. Although this episode stands on its own, it is designed to complement the Watch Party. So, if you haven't watched along with us yet, we highly recommend starting there first and coming back here for the full breakdown. Most importantly, we want to thank each and every one of you for joining us on this incredible journey. We're not affiliated with Marvel in any way, shape, or form. We're just fans who are passionate about these stories and these characters and wish to share them with everyone in a new and exciting way. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Snark Industries.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Deep Dive. We just watched What If? 1872, Season 3, Episode 6. John, you want to give us that rundown?
Absolutely. And I'm going to preface this by saying I'm excited about this one. I didn't know we were in for a Western, and we got a Western, which is one of my favorite genres, actually, of all time. So, just got to dive right into it. This is set in 1872, following our chronological timeline of when all of these things were to have taken place. We've got Uatu sort of explaining this what if sort of scenario, across the board is showing different things. And we get this introduction here as some cowboys are shooting a bell exactly 10 times to get 10 rings. Shang-Chi shows up. We have a cool fight scene there. Introduced to sort of this setup of racial discrimination in America in the 1860s, which was really a prime time for that, and everything. And so we get the villain set up as being the Hood, and Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop are looking for him. And after this scene, we get some information. John Walker's here too, who gives them a little bit of info in terms of a town that they can go and try to find the Hood, who ultimately they feel like has, and the reason Shang-Chi is here to start with, has taken his sister, Xia Ling, and they get to this town and it's in ruins. It seems like everyone is either dead or gone, minus one kid who is still around, Jun Fan, and tells them that there's a ghost train, and this ghost train somehow is tied into the Hood. So they all mount up, they go out, they find this train, are able to run it down. It appears that it is made out of some sort of Stark technology. We get to see some arc reactors and watch it fly over a big chasm, which was really cool. And in there, we find all the people from this town, perhaps other places too, sort of entranced, sitting in the seats of this train. They're not reacting to any sort of external stimulus. And they find a character by the name of Sonny Birch, who seems to be sort of in charge of the Hood's expenditures out there. And funny enough, for those that were with us in the watch party, I said it was voiced by Walter Goggins, which is totally wrong. And so I'll eat crow here and say that I messed up. But Walton Goggins, who really does that accent very well, and says, hey, no reason to fight. You want to find the Hood wants to find you. Let's have a meeting. So they take the ghost train and go to, ultimately, I guess, where the Hood's HQ is. And Hood comes out, has Shang want to join him and everything, and a fight ensues between it. Only sometime in amongst this to be revealed that the Hood is actually his sister that he's been looking for, Xia Ling.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. In the meantime, Kate is on the train still and is being hypnotized by Sonny Birch, which is this sort of song from this pocket watch that is apparently how he has gotten control of all the other passengers on the train anyway, and was doing it to her as well. Shang ultimately decides that he can't fight his sister. She's not listening to reason. So he kneels down and basically poses the idea that if you want to kill me, you're going to have to do it while I stand here defenseless, which is a very heroic act. In the meantime, seeing the hypnosis happening, Jun Fan goes and rings the bell on the train, which apparently is enough to awaken everyone. Kate's able to grab her pistols and clear out everyone, knocking out Sonny Birch. And then as Xia Ling is going to actually kill Shang-Chi, she doesn't hold back, which surprised me. I thought that that's was going to be how they did it. She's actually going to go through with it. Kate is able to shoot and ultimately kill her before so. And in doing so, the hood is removed. And as she's having her dying breaths, has a nice tender moment with Shang-Chi, who is able to reunite, at least for a few brief moments, with what is actually his sister. You know, the real one. Yeah, not the one that has been corrupted by the hood. We see the hood sort of flying off in the breeze. And then at the ending, we have Uatu and the other Watchers have a brief scene as Uatu earlier on, while they were on the train, saved Jun Fan from some goons by flicking them off the top of the train, breaking his oath to be a Watcher and being impartial. And the Eminence steps before him and says, "This has gone on long enough. We cannot handle any more of your interference," and is punishing him in some way. And we see little bits of shards of the hallway in which all of these what-if scenarios are sort of taking place in flick off into the ether, which I assume will have some sort of repercussions down the road.
One would imagine.
But yeah, that was the breakdown that we had in terms of tie-ins to the MCU. I feel like we're a broken record here a little bit with this, with these what-if episodes, as in it doesn't really have any major ones because it's a what-if episode. It's a separate designation
by design
in and of itself. Of course, we do get to see, and I actually really enjoyed seeing the Watcher do something. And then, you know, I remember when it happening, watching it, like, I was like, yeah, he's not supposed to do that. But they actually address it. So I think that is interesting. Maybe doesn't tie into the MCU in general, but shows perhaps a way that, you know, because the theory is, of course, that the Watchers are always out there, why they aren't interfering in any other affairs anyway, because they tried that back in the day and Uatu got in trouble.
Right.
So in terms of tie-ins go, that's probably the major one that I see. You know, and everything else is just, of course, just the characters themselves in a different scenario, Wild West scenario, versus their standard settings. But how about comic books, Remy? Anything specifically where they tie in there?
Yeah, actually, there are quite a few comic roots in this one. This one is rooted in the 2015 Secret Wars events, specifically tied to the limited series of 1872, written by Gerry Duggan. The reality is known as the Valley of Doom and is in Domain 6 on Battleworld. So kind of cool. I believe this is the same reality that the Old Man Logan takes place in.
Oh.
So that's the main comic source. And then it also takes a page from 2015's Master of Kung Fu limited series, which is another Secret Wars tie-in, and the 2002 limited series, The Hood by Brian K. Vaughan. Obviously, that is the origin of that character, and that's what we get from that. And this episode takes place in, the designation is Earth TRN 1495. But the comic origin, if you care, is Earth 51920.
Well, I care.
So those are the those are the comic origins. And as far as Easter eggs are concerned, there were a ton of them that I caught. We got the sun's getting real low. Obviously, the 10 rings. We heard Stark Munitions, Hammer Steel, Cross Manufacturing. So all three are characters that we know. The Fist of Fury. We saw Throg. We saw Alligator Loki. There was mention of Kate Bishop's family history, being rich. There was John Walker, who was also played by, what's his name? Russell.
Wyatt Russell. Yep.
Wyatt Russell. Just a ton of things thrown at this one. And that was a ton of fun watching them all come through. So what'd you think of the episode overall? I know you kind of already mentioned it, but
yeah, well, I'll get to that in a second. I actually wanted to add a couple more of the Easter eggs that I noticed,
by all means.
as well. all the ones you did, of course, great. We also had them talk about Jun Fan being having iron fists, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Especially after just recently watching one of the Iron Fist What If episodes.
Oh, that reminds me. Jun Fan is actually an Iron Fist, and given the timeline, it actually lines up with when he is the Iron Fist. So that's really cool too.
Oh.
Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
And we also, in the hallway with Uatu walking, we had, in addition to the Throg and Alligator Loki, we had a high seas version of Crossbones, which was pretty cool. And Ultron as a show tunes robot.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's pretty great.
Yeah, lots of Easter eggs in this one, which was kind of fun. So, but thoughts and feelings, it's funny. I have to turn on my own standards here. I've been talking a lot about how I haven't liked the What If series thus far, and I got to be honest, man, I really like this episode. I understand it's standalone. I understand it's an outside story, but I am impartial to Westerns. I've always enjoyed them. I have fond memories as a child watching Westerns with my grandpa. So perhaps that goes into it, but having that kind of setting and seeing the characters that I love in a setting that I really enjoy was really, really fun. I thought the story was really well done. I loved seeing, and what's really funny, and we'll get there eventually, this version of the Hood, we see the Hood in Ironheart as well. This version of the Hood is 10,000 times better than that one, in my opinion.
Oh my God.
I was blown. I was sitting there like when seeing the Hood being the villain here, and I was like, oh great, and I even said for those that were with us in the watch party, I wonder if it's the same guy, like that was in the show.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't. It was a totally different thing. And obviously in this case it was Xia Ling, but I was just like, man, the voice that they used, sort of the demonic voice they used while they were talking, the power set and what they were doing, the fight scene that they had with the Hood and Shang, just chef's kiss. I no notes on this one. I mean, this is probably the favorite thing that we've watched thus far here on the show.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
I'm not gonna say it's my favorite Marvel thing ever. There's a lot of things we haven't got to yet, but of the things we've watched so far, only 7 episodes in, this one takes the cake for me. So
nice.
Yeah. How about you? What are your thoughts?
It's funny because I'm exactly the opposite. I don't like spaghetti westerns. I don't like things that are set in the Old West. I find it very, very boring typically, but I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I like Shang-Chi. I really like Kate Bishop as a character. It was fun. It was a really good adventure. Like we were saying, there were a lot of comic roots in here, so it was a lot for me to recognize and pull from and like, oh, I see what they're doing. So it was, even if I wasn't paying attention to the Western of it all, which they definitely made better than your typical Western, there was a lot for me to
settle down,
enjoy. But I have to agree. I think this is probably one of my favorite that we've watched to this point. Although I really did like I think it was episode 3 of Eyes of Wakanda that we've watched so far. That was a lot of fun. That was the
Iron Fist one.
The Iron Fist one, yeah. So I really enjoyed that. But overall, great episode. I'm with you. No notes. That was a lot of fun. And just to throw it out there, we kept referring to the dude that played Hood in Ironheart as the Hamilton guy. His name is Anthony Ramos, in case anybody cares. So.
There you go. We'll get there too. That's on the horizon.
Yeah,
and course. I really look forward to enjoying that series again.
Yeah,
and talking about it in the best of ways. But yeah, no. What I was going to say is that I could easily watch an entire series set up to be this and be happy.
Oh man,
if they wanted to put a whole series. A whole season together of just this, I would watch it, and I would smile on a grateful universe,
Yeah, same. If they did a full animated Battle World series, looked at Old Man Logan, the Hulks, I mean, there are so many good stories in Battle World, this being one of them, man, I'd be all for it. 100% on board.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
At least we got a taste.
We got a taste. Sometimes a little dab will do you.
That'll do, donkey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you next episode. Thank you for joining us in this episode of the Snark Industries podcast. To join the conversation and further explore the Marvel Cinematic Universe with us, head on over to snarkindustries.pod.com. The link will be in the show notes. But with that, we will see you in the next adventure.
It's high noon.